Do you ever feel fragile as an HSP? Like, if there's one more thing, I'm just going to shatter, I'm going to break, I'm going to cease to be. It's like you're making yourself small, like nobody will see you, so nothing can hit you. You're just trying to brace yourself the best you can, but you know you're already so dented, so near your breaking point that the slightest little bink is just going to, shatter you, just explode you, just cause you to break. It is such a deep feeling that's really hard to describe, but I definitely have it on certain days where I just feel, ooh, today I am not my strong self. And this is one of the 30 things that I wish somebody would have told me about being an HSP, that you're going to have these days where you feel incredibly vulnerable. I like to use the word vulnerable because it really is not weakness, it's just vulnerability. And I believe everybody feels this. It's just that as a highly sensitive, you feel it so much more deeply, so much stronger than others. And you're just, once again, what I did is I judged myself for it. Oh, there you go again, feeling weaker than other people. Think you're less capable in this weak body, right? Because I had worked so hard on empowering myself. It was really helping me to go to the gym, to feel stronger on the outside so I could feel stronger on the inside, to accomplish goals, to push myself beyond my comfort zone. All these things were helping me, but I was still having days, because I think they're natural, but I would still have these days where I would feel incredibly vulnerable. And I want to tell you that that's normal. Everybody has them. And the first thing to do is to stop judging yourself for it and to feel like all is lost and I can't do this and here I am again and I'm a weak person, because it's not true. It really helps me to see it as cyclical, right? Your emotions are cyclical. Life is cyclical. There is sunshine, there is darkness, there is, the ebb and flow of the ocean. Yeah, the tide comes in, the tide goes out. And I feel like that's the same with our emotion. But I was so addicted to feeling empowered when I was in that on state, that empowered state, that nothing can stop me. No one can tell me no. I'm no longer afraid. I can just bust through anything that I need to. When you have felt that empowerment as a highly sensitive, you don't ever want to lose it. And that's exactly what I would go into when I would have a day like that, where I would wake up and I would feel this weakness, this vulnerability. I would fear it's lost and it's gone forever and it's not coming back. And what if I get stuck in this feeling of vulnerability, of fragility? What if I get stuck down here in despair and depression and feeling down and not having my inspiration, my flow, my creativity? What then? I was so afraid of that for so many years until I really taught myself and just learned through all the books and all the things I was listening to and reading and doing and taking part in workshops, learning that I can control my emotions, but even better than controlling the emotions, I don't have to fear them. I understand them. I understand why they're here, and I understand that they will leave sometimes just as quickly as they came. But when you haven't shown yourself how to do that yet, I totally understand that you get to be in this fear. I know the story that one of my friends would always tell me, right, of the king who had all these high advisors who would, tell him what to do about depression when depression hits. And he paid so many, golden coins or whatever he had to these advisors, and nobody could ever give him an answer that was really working for him. And then there was one poor person in town who said, I can help you. I know what to do. I can help you with this depression. and they made him a ring so that he could wear it and he could always see it. And the message engraved in the ring was, "This too shall pass." And this is my mantra whenever I get into that kind of feeling down in the dumps. This too shall pass. This is only temporary. This is not here to stay, especially with everything that I have learned, everything that I have taught myself, everything that I have journaled, all the resources that I have gathered for myself. This too shall pass. So if you're curious, what kind of my starting point was with understanding and directing my emotions, I've put together a little guide that just has 3 quick, easy steps that you can apply to any emotions to help lift yourself out of that emotion. It's free. I'm going to put the link below. Just go to healingyouremotions.com/shift. And it's there for you. It'll also sign you up to my email list, which will be incredible to get in touch with you, to be able to communicate with you at least once a week, because I send little tips and tricks and anything that has helped me, the aha moments that I still have every day about living life as a highly sensitive. And the other thing that I wanted to say about this feeling of vulnerability is, depending on what your belief is, I definitely believe that, especially as a highly sensitive, we feel everyone else's emotions. We feel the whole world. When there's something going on in the whole world, we feel it and we process it for the whole world, right? We're doing this role as the bearers of this heavy energy, of these heavy emotions. So especially when it's like incongruent with your own life, because you're like, I should be happy. This new thing happened. I just started this awesome job. I'm in love with this person and we have a great relationship. My bank account is flowing, all these wonderful things. And you're going, but why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like this angst, this anxiety, this something could attack me and break me and kill me in any moment? Why do I feel this? Take a breath. Is it a boundary that you need to set? Is it even your own feeling? This is when it's great when you kind of get into more emotional processing, right? When you can look at all the areas of your life and say, is this even mine? Is there something in my life that's currently giving me this anxiety? Or am I just feeling this out of the blue? Maybe it's not even mine. What can I do in order to nurture myself through this, right? Can I release it? It's not mine. Or do I just need to sit in it, be with it, and nurture myself through it? What can I do to nurture myself through and with this feeling? I always like to tell my coaching clients to write down a bliss list, a happiness list, all these little things that bring you joy. What brings you joy? Which movies, which songs, which activities? Is it dancing? Is it drumming? Is it going for a walk? What is it that brings you joy? What kind of videos do you like? Do you watch horses galloping across the planks? Do you like to see little kittens playing? Do you like to see dogs, doing a tug of war? What is it that you see and you're just like, oh, what is it that you see that you go, it's worth being on this crazy earth for? If you can make yourself a list of these little happy moments that reminds you why it's worth it to go through all the trudgery in life, it's gonna be a bit easier. And on those days when you feel so fragile and vulnerable, you can take this list, and hopefully there's also inspiring things on there, and just say, today is not my day to conquer the world, to conquer this goal, to really hit something home. Today is the contemplative day. Today is the collecting my strength day, right? Today is the nurturing myself, so then tomorrow or the next week, I can really go out there and get it done. This is cyclical. This is my time to embrace myself, to embrace my emotions, to embrace the wholeness. And who knows, maybe I'm meant to sit still in this moment, to journal in this moment, to go for a walk in order to get some kind of download, some kind of inspiration, some kind of communication from my higher self, from my guides, from my angels. What is it that I am meant to hear? Embracing whatever emotion comes up. I know it can seem incredibly scary in the beginning, but I hope through learning from me, learning from all the other authors and speakers who've really made it their life to share that emotions are beautiful and wonderful, you will gain that confidence that your emotions cannot suffocate you, they cannot kill you, they cannot do anything harmful to you, because you are them. You are a divine being. You are in the driver's seat. You are in charge. You can coach yourself to be so incredibly resilient, to be incredibly powerful, and to know that you can get yourself out of anything, that you can uplift out of anything, that you can embrace and be anything. And then one more thing that I wanted to share, if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm constantly there. I definitely remember a time of my life when it felt like a struggle. I felt like I had to work so hard. I had all these rituals in place and all these things I would do throughout my day in order to get to a better feeling place. And then by like late afternoon, evening, I'd just be vibing. I'd be in such a good feeling place. I would feel strong. I would feel empowered. I would feel in flow. I would feel inspired. I would feel like myself. And then I go to sleep. And then I wake up in the morning, and pretty soon I'd be just down in the dumps again, right? Feeling discouraged, feeling worried, feeling anxious, feeling vulnerable, feeling sad, feeling uninspired. And I was like, what is it? Why do I have to work so hard for it every day? But you know what? It's worth it. It's worth putting that time in. It's worth making up a morning ritual for yourself, or a daily ritual of checking in at certain times with yourself, of putting things in your day, right? Some call it feeding your mind. What are you feeding yourself on a daily basis, right? Are you starting with a meditation? Are you starting with affirmations? Are you starting with listening to something that is positive, that makes you feel good, that uplifts you, that inspires you? Are you starting with some kind of movement? Are you feeding your body the kind of food that is easy to assimilate and easy, that makes you feel light and energetic and inspired? What is it that you're doing on a daily basis? Because when you start to put in these rituals, when you start to feed your body and your mind and your soul, and when you're allowing yourself to really connect to who you are on a daily basis, it's gonna be hard in the beginning because you're not used to it. But when you keep going with this, when you make the effort every single day to fight for it, isn't happiness and creativity and inspiration worth fighting for? Why do we always think it's just supposed to be there? And if it's not, I'm gonna be unhappy until it is. It is worth fighting for. It is worth doing something about. It is worth charging after every single day. So put a comment below. I would love to know what your morning rituals are. If there's one thing that really, really helps you that you definitely don't want to go without, what is it? Because I'd love to know. It's always great to share so that other highly sensitives that are not quite as far along on their path as you are, so that they can see, get inspired. I've never tried that. Let me try this. Mine right now that I do is I listen to affirmations, right? Either that I have recorded myself or that I find on YouTube, just positive affirmations that really get me into this flow of like, yes, this is what I believe. Yes, I do believe that the universe is abundant. Yes, I do believe everything happens for me. Yes, I do believe that my body is an incredibly intelligent machine that can heal itself, right? What is it that inspires you? Can you listen to those messages every single day? Let me know what you do in order to reach that incredible state. Love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. Tune in next time. I'll see you soon.